I'm Stefan Peterson, and I'm about to black out my whole right arm. I first started getting this sleeve when I was really young. This was some of the first tattooing I ever did on my body. Like, I think I did this arm in probably 7 or 8 different sessions or something like that. Initially, when I started this, I wanted it to be kind of like a scary, like morbid death sleeve, I guess, is what I wanted initially. Changed my mind after I did that. I decided I wanted like Egyptian mythology themed because I got really into Egyptian mythology. So I have this scary dead guy and then the rest is Egyptian mythology themed. And while like individually a lot of the stuff is cool, I still love Egyptian mythology. I mean, there's a lot of reasons I'm blacking it out. First and foremost, the main reason that I'm blacking it out is because I have kids now. They're not necessarily scared of it because they're used to it. They've always seen it on my body and they're just used to it. But they're like, their friends aren't, you know, their friends' parents and stuff who maybe aren't part of the industry. That's the main reason I'm getting it blacked out, is to cover up the scary stuff. When I first started getting tattooed, I really wasn't thinking about how my arm was going to tie into the rest of my body if I ever got the rest of my body tattooed. You know, I didn't plan on tattooing large portions of my body back then. It's not really going to tie in very well to the big chest and neck piece that I'm working on right now. It's not going to tie into my back that's like almost halfway done. I mean, the main reason that I'm choosing to black it out rather than like rework it or try and cover it up a different way, I didn't want to do laser removal. That was like, it's expensive, it's a pain in the ass, and it takes forever, and it's just like, and your arm's just gonna look like shit for, you know, however long it takes to get it lasered. A lot of times, you know, they can't completely remove it. I think like Blackout is just aesthetically really cool. And I gotta imagine as more and more, as so many people are getting tattooed, like in the next 10 years, I bet you're gonna start seeing a lot more like black arms and black legs and stuff like that. All the reasons combined, it just made sense. Why not? Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on? What can I get started for you tonight?
Let me get a number 1.
You got it.
No onions.
No onions.
All right, we're here at the hotel. Got about 30 minutes or so until we gotta head to the studio and start the tattoo. I'm just gonna go over my my pre-care and supplement regimen really quickly and like what I do kind of to get ready for a tattoo as far as like supplements and nutrients go. Every time I get tattooed, I drink like an excessive amount of water and electrolytes. I feel like it just helps the skin be more resilient during the tattoo, and I think it helps with the skin texture as well. In addition to that, a lot of this other stuff I take actually because I rock climb and boulder a lot, and that has a tendency to really like do a lot of damage to your skin and joints. So I actually just take this stuff a lot for that, but it's also very helpful for healing like tattooed skin as well. So this is omega 369s. Omega 369s help a lot with, I mean, they help with a lot of things like heart health and stuff like that, but they also help with like skin healing and skin health as well. This is NAD plus with resveratrol. This is supposed to help with like cellular regeneration. And I take this every day. This is something new I started taking. This is Saniderm's new omega-7 supplement. I take this kind of like to complement the omega-3, 6, 9s just because omega-7s are really important. Also very helpful for skin health and skin healing. The other nice thing about this is like omega-7s are really hard to find in nature. Omega-7 fatty acids are not super common, so having them in a supplement is pretty useful. And then the last thing I take is biotin and collagen, and this again is for the same thing. It's for skin, like skin and joints. Like for climbing, I like literally anything. I'll try anything that will help work for my skin and joints. So this one's interesting. This one's kind of cool. You take it sublingually, brush over your tongue, let it sit for a minute, and then, yeah, I mean that's basically my supplement regimen.
At the light, turn left onto East Anaheim Street.
Amber is someone who I trust immensely, and I don't know that I could have picked a better artist for this. I know a lot of really cool tattoo artists that are really like awesome, inspiring people that I trust, but I think for this project specifically, Amber was like the best choice I could have made.
So for you, I always think of you as like the words I was thinking of was like cyber mechanical, like computer, spacey alien.
Yes.
These are great adjectives, right? They're similar in ways, and if there's things you like or don't like, I can always mesh them however we want to mesh them too. If you're like, oh, I like this part of this one, but I like this part of that one. I just wanted to give you an idea of like how we can go about keeping it pretty much all black, but still include some kind of style to it that suits you.
This is actually, yeah, this is awesome.
So I was thinking of what like the inside of a computer would look like, but also combined with like a crop circle type of designs.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, this is tough. I like all of them. That's the problem. I like all the parts. I think I like this bottom half the best.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
really good at that.
The tops are hard because actually all of them are cool in different ways. I think I like this one the best. I think I do.
That looks good, Amber.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so it's Blackout, but like you can go tribal with it, or you can go like many different ways. But I'm like, no, you're very much like alien computer kind of like vibes.
About to start the tattoo. I feel I feel great about it. Amber's design is awesome. I think it fits me and my arm perfectly. It's gonna be really cool to see it done. Yeah, and right now I'm feeling really good about things. I feel really good. Just had some awesome tacos. And we'll see how long that keeps up.
lines are on. And we're about to get into the shading. So far, so good. Amber's super light-handed, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, so far so good. But I think once we get into the shading and really blacking everything out, things are gonna get more intense. This is only just the beginning. We got like a lot of stuff done. I'm feeling like remarkably good for a tattoo of this magnitude. Thank you to Amber's light hand and my electrolyte drinks for that.
I think it went really well. I think we got a lot more done than I anticipated we can get on day one, because I know this is it's an intense tattoo and we hit a lot of sensitive areas, but him sitting so well and he has really good skin, it made the process honestly really quick and easy.
I'm probably gonna bleed everywhere tonight while I sleep, so we're gonna get ourselves a towel so we don't ruin the hotel cleaning lady's day tomorrow. Ooh, I actually just juiced on this one, so I guess this is the one. It's got like bodily fluids on it, so I guess we gotta buy it now. Got that towel. We did it. Today was a really good day. There was a lot of pain in this day, but nonetheless, it was still a really good day. And I feel like it's really a testament to making sure you pick the right tattoo artist and making sure you pick a good tattoo artist that you trust. Having like the right energy, the right atmosphere is so helpful. We knocked out like almost like the entire bottom half of my arm, which you can't really see right now because I'm bundled up in saran wrap. Going into this, I expected it to be, I actually expected it to be worse. Because of the amount of skin that's gotten covered in this tattoo, I'm gonna bleed a lot probably tonight, and it's gonna be a disgusting fucking mess tomorrow. I'm gonna try and sleep with my arm on this so I don't completely ruin these sheets, and hopefully it works.
Oh shit. Yeah, so actually the towel didn't really work at all. Fuck. Yeah, still fucking ruined the sheets, it looks like. Sorry, hotel. Yeah, so waking up today, my arm is swollen as shit. I feel like it's more painful today than it was yesterday actually getting the tattoo. Right now I'm gonna just wrap it up with saran wrap really quick and then go grab some breakfast with Amber and get started on day 2. Directions to Vibe Beach Cafe.
Getting directions to Vibes Beach Cafe.
can't really talk very well anymore, honestly. Got gummy bears. This is what keeps me going in these long sessions.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I would like a number 2 with no onions, and let's do a vanilla milkshake. Thank you.
We made it through. I'm really quite impressed with how much we were able to get done. I mean, we covered the entire arm basically, which is like, for 2 days, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of ink. I think we, both myself and Amber, probably pushed ourselves to our limits today. I don't think I could have gone more than 10 minutes longer. Oh yeah, that feels good. Here's the bed. Actually, you know, it's not quite as bad as I thought it would be. Ooh. Took a shower this morning. Took the old saran wrap off. It was completely filled up with plasma and ink and all kinds of gooey stuff. The shower was pretty brutal. That was probably one of the most painful showers I think I've ever taken. We're gonna go visit Amber now, and hopefully we'll get it wrapped in Saniderm so I don't have to keep wearing this saran wrap anymore.
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your right.
I'm about to get Reiki done by Amber. I've never had Reiki done before. Really no experience with Reiki at all. So excited to see what that's like.
I've done 2 days in a row on clients. I've done large scale pieces, but never like 2 days in a row. Blackout piece, that's kind of intense. I actually wouldn't do that normally because I think it's a little too intense, but because I know Stefan, I know his tolerance level, I know his like mental state, I felt confident doing this and it went really well. Like, I don't think that could have gone better than it did. We got so much more done than I anticipated. His skin took it well. He stayed calm the whole time. I'm excited to finish it and see how it heals.
Amber.
Let me know how the healing and everything goes.
Will do.
Thank you so much for letting me be part of this.
Directions to Salt Lake City, Utah.
Getting directions to Salt Lake City.
My arm is still very swollen. My entire arm is swollen. I can't really like use it very well for anything. I'm super happy to have it covered up now. I was like, I hated walking around with this thing just like exposed at all. It's just so much open raw skin. Black work really is fucking hardcore. The men's restroom is out of order, and he won't let me use the women's restroom. It's against the rules. I'm about to piss my fucking pants. I just want to go to bed. I just want to go to bed, dude. We got home super late last night. I realized when I got home and got to the bathroom and took my shirt off that like the Saniderm had like peeled off, or had like all the plasma and goop and stuff had made the Saniderm come off like pretty much all over my elbow. So I just kind of like rewrapped the whole thing in saran wrap overnight, and also I was leaking out the bottom of my hand. I gotta say, dude, black work is, as far as like plasma leakage goes and stuff like that, black work is by far the most leaky tattoo I've ever gotten. And I really am not like, I'm not that much of a bleeder typically when I get tattooed. This whole bandage just is fucking disgusting and really needs to be changed, and a whole new wrap of Saniderm needs to be put on my entire arm. So one thing I want to address, like a lot of people are probably wondering like, why am I keeping the saran wrap on it? Why am I keeping it covered? Why am I not like just taking it off and letting it breathe? There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, I don't want to like ruin all my fucking clothes and sheets. And number two, I had like pretty bad experiences in the past with leaving like fresh tattoos uncovered. I think people really take for granted how easy it is to get something in there that can cause a lot of problems, man. Like one cat hair, one dog hair, like some bullshit in the air. So I personally really don't like having fresh tattoos exposed. This level of coverage is excessive, and this was like a last resort for me because I was so tired last night. I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna cover it and just saran wrap and go to bed so I can get some sleep. some second thoughts about how I want to do this now. I've never experienced a blister like this. I've never experienced any blisters with tattooing at all. Blistering there, blistering there, blistering there. That one's fucking gnarly. I'm a little bit hesitant to rewrap it, honestly. Tattoo is intense, man. Well, that was an unpleasant surprise. Oh, feels good to have everything fucking off. Damn, that looks gnarly, dude. This is a really interesting experience. This is something I kind of want to talk about. This is going to be the first tattoo in probably 10 years that I haven't healed with a derm. Yeah, healing Blackout is quite a bit different than healing other regular tattoos. My body is definitely telling me don't do my normal derm healing process. I definitely want to try and keep it moisturized because it feels really dry right now. So this is like an experimental balm that Saniderm is messing around with right now. Coconut oil, shea butter, that kind of stuff. I think what makes it different is it has CBG in it, which is like it's like an alternative to CBD. This is typically what I'll use like early on in the healing phase still. Once I feel like I don't need the really heavy balm anymore, I'll probably start using like a lighter lotion. The main thing I want to communicate is like listen to your body. Like yeah, really listen to your body, especially if you're healing a big tattoo like this. Listen to your body. Fucking brutal, man. I'm in the super heavy peeling phase, I guess, right now. Blackout heals way different than any other tattoo I've ever gotten. Like, large scale Blackout is 100% its own unique healing process. Like, I can't communicate that enough. I started peeling like way sooner than normal. I was peeling on like day 2 or 3, like peeling heavily. So I was peeling and weeping at the same time, which was like really bizarre. I've never experienced that with a tattoo before. I mean, I learned a lot of things about Blackout. I learned why derms aren't typically used on Blackout. Unfortunately, I think I might have took out some ink on my hand. It could also just be because it's a hand. My first hand tattoo was the only tattoo I've ever had to get touched up, the hand tattoo that's underneath the Blackout. But I'm pretty sure I took out some ink on this hand, or took skin off prematurely, or before the ink had settled in. I haven't really looked at it in like close to 24 hours. I think like yesterday sometime, I took a shower, cleaned it, moisturized it, put this shirt on, and then just like went to sleep, and I've been working today and I haven't actually looked at my arm, so. You know what's interesting is like, even though it looks terrible, it doesn't feel as bad. Like normal tattoo peeling feels worse than this. Obviously right here, so this is interesting. This is where this is like a healing wound that I got from rock climbing. I just like scraped myself and took off some skin. And the healing skin didn't take any ink at all. Here's like the leftovers from the blisters. My strategy going forward at this point is to try and keep as much of the skin on as long as possible. Keep it moisturized. Just kind of let the skin do its thing and fall off on its own. Everything's healed really good, with the exception of my hand, it healed kind of rough. I don't know, I don't even know what phase it is. It's like the secondary, like the more mild peeling phase, I guess. It's still pretty dry and it's still peeling. I haven't put any moisturizer on it yet today, so that's why it looks so dry. It still feels a little tight, but honestly, like, it feels good, it looks good. And I'm just now starting to like resume my normal like activity levels
I went climbing for the first time yesterday. Have a follow-up session scheduled with Amber. And thankfully, this time she's gonna be coming out to me at the end of this month. So she'll be here in Salt Lake rather than me driving out to Long Beach. It's gonna be a lot easier to heal because I'll have more control over my setting in the first 24 to 48 hours rather than like a 10, 11, 12-hour drive home from California. I'm gonna finish the inside of the arm right here, touch up right here where the ink wouldn't go in, and then touch up the hand as well, and then whatever else she wants to touch up. Overall, I'm super happy. Like, Amber did such a good job. One pass blackout is really difficult to do, and she did a really good job. So we're like 3 weeks to a month out from when I did the first couple sessions on my blackout. I get more comments on this tattoo than I do any other tattoos on my body, and that's one of the reasons I like blackout and blast over stuff anyways, is because it does really like stand out, like makes a statement. I'm also happy with how, I mean, like dark it is, you know, like a lot of the stuff, the main stuff that I wanted to cover, like this up here, is like really covered, man. A lot of times you can still see a little bit what was underneath, and you can't see shit of what's underneath this. Amber's gonna be here next week, so in like 5 or 6 days. I'm really excited. I can't wait to have it done.
Fucking spot.
A weird little spot. I'm getting tattooed tomorrow, and while Amber's here, I just wanted to show her some of the cool stuff that Utah has to offer, and this hike was what I came up with.
obviously separated, but 3 days total is really cool. Just seeing a sleeve come together that quickly doesn't usually happen. So it's just really satisfying as an artist to start and finish and have someone commit like that.
I'm glad this session ended when it did. I just barely hit the point where I was like starting to not feel good. So I'm glad the session ended when it did. I couldn't be happier. Really looking forward to healing it this time. I'm gonna do some different things in the healing process.
Did it! You have a black arm.
It'll be like 48 hours post tattoo now about. I haven't put anything on it at all up until this morning when I got out of the shower. I moisturized it a little bit just because I didn't want it to dry out too much and start like cracking prematurely. She touched up so many areas that it's like, it's really hard to figure out like everywhere that she did. And something like I can't bend my arm that well. We got there at 11. I think we started tattooing at about noon or just before noon. And yeah, we didn't end up leaving until like 9. I'm really glad that she was as thorough as she was, and she really like took her time and went over everything that she thought needed to be gone over again. It looks so good to have the hand be black again. I'm hoping that using this alternate healing method will help keep more in the hands, and it's a second pass over the hands, so I'm really hoping more black stays this time. I'm not really worried about any of this. All this stuff that she went over again I think is going to be fine. The hand I think is really going to be like the real test. Normally, like when I apply balms to a tattoo in this state, I'm pretty liberal with it, but I don't want to be in this circumstance just because I want to try and let it breathe as much as possible and let it do its thing. All right. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks pretty gnarly right now, but this is how it's supposed to look. I think it's kind of interesting how you can see like the difference in the peeling, like in this area where it was really heavily saturated versus like the area she touched up over here where it's just like, it's kind of just lightly peeling a little bit. Whereas here, there's like huge flakes coming off. This kind of flaking, I've never gotten this with a normal tattoo before. I think it's pretty exclusive to like black work and blackout. It doesn't really feel that bad. It kind of is a little bit uncomfortable. It feels a little bit tight and can hurt a little bit sometimes, but really at this point, like all the swelling's gone, there's really not a lot of pain. And it doesn't itch actually either, which is kind of weird. Normally this kind of peeling on a normal tattoo would itch like crazy, and it really doesn't itch at all with black work, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that is. The inner bicep is healing great. I'm really happy with like all the touched up areas. Like the area before where there was that little spot was like right there, and that you can't even, I mean, it's just gone. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like all this stuff that she touched up, like I don't even notice it. It doesn't feel like anything. You can see exactly where where we left off last time and where she started on this next session. I think this one's gonna heal really solid. I think for the most part, this will heal really solid too. I think this area up here is gonna be kind of fucked up again though. So yeah, fuck hands. Healing my palm was easier than healing the top of my hand, but I think it looks dope as fuck, man. This is my favorite tattoo I have right now, for sure. The worst parts of peeling are pretty much done for the most part. Nothing fell out. Everything she touched up on my arm stayed really, really well. Even on my hand, it looks like everything on my hand stayed really quite well. Again, there's like this tiny little corner up here that fell out a tiny bit, but still not as bad as before. Because it was kind of like an opposite approach on the second session compared to the first session. I don't really feel like moisturizers really did that much to it, honestly. Normally I feel like moisturizing properly, like after a tattoo, makes a world of difference. And didn't really seem to make a huge difference. It didn't really seem to make a noticeable difference with blackout. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. There was a lot of things I didn't expect. The experience of getting this tattoo was so much different than any other tattoo that I've gotten. That's for a lot of reasons. I think number one was probably the reason I was getting it. I felt like a lot of the old stuff I had in this arm wasn't representative of who I am as a person now. I think it was then when I got it. There's nothing really terrible about it. It was very dark, kind of scary, and I think my kids are used to it, so it didn't scare my kids, but I think like it could scare my kids' friends. And it's interesting. I think in a way this black arm already it's very interesting to kids, but I think it's more in a good way, at least to me, where they're just curious about why I have a black arm rather than like why I have like a scary dead guy and a scary skull on my arm. As far as like the tattoo itself goes, I'm really happy with it. Tattooing an entire limb almost completely black and getting all the black to heal solidly it's a very difficult process. I think more difficult than a lot of people realize. It is hard to do, and usually it takes multiple passes to do it. I don't think I've ever seen it be done really well in one single pass. Trust with a tattoo artist is a very, very important component of being tattooed. Arguably, the most important thing is making sure that you trust your tattoo artist, especially for a big project. To finish a big tattoo, it takes a lot of commitment from the client and a lot of commitment from the artist. Making sure you have a good rapport, a good relationship, and that you trust your artist is extremely, extremely important. This is the tattoo that people stop and talk to me about. Like, this is the tattoo that people comment on the most. This tattoo has made a much more significant impact on like how people view me, I would say, than any other tattoo on my body is, including my face tattoos, which was really interesting to me. Like on my other tattoos, the main thing I get asked is like, did it hurt? Which is like, I don't know, it's kind of a silly question, I think, because yeah, like it's a tattoo, it always hurts. Like just actually yesterday, I went to the grocery store to just like buy some snacks, and the cashier, like, she was asking me if it feels like real skin, like, so she was like feeling it to see if it felt like real skin. You know, you get interesting conversations because people have just like never seen anything like it. It's really uncommon still to see people with black limbs like this. I do kind of think it'll become more common as time goes on. Most reasonable like modern workplaces nowadays like don't really give a fuck if you have tattoos. And I think as that trend continues to go the way it is, I think like more and more people are going to start getting blackouts.